Across frozen steppes and fiery battlefields, Soviet tanks dominated World War II, from nimble scouts to massive war machines. Starting with light tanks. T-26. The T-26 was a Soviet light tank with a 45mm gun, designed for infantry support. Crews valued its simplicity, mobility, and battlefield reliability. BT-5. The BT-5 was a high-speed Soviet cavalry tank, armed with a 45mm gun, built for reconnaissance. Crews praised its speed and mobility on open terrain. BT-7. The BT-7 was an upgraded Soviet cavalry tank with a 45mm gun, fast and agile. Crews relied on its speed for scouting and flanking. T-50. The T-50 was a compact Soviet light tank with 45mm armament and sloped armor, designed for reconnaissance and infantry support. Crews valued its modern features. T-60. The T-60 was a small Soviet scout tank armed with a 20mm gun, built for reconnaissance. Crews appreciated its speed and easy maintenance. T-70. The T-70 was a Soviet light tank with a 45mm gun, designed for reconnaissance and infantry support. Crews valued its speed and simple mechanics. Moving on to medium tanks. T-28. The T-28 was a Soviet medium tank with 3 turrets and a 76.2mm main gun, designed for breakthrough assaults. Crews navigated its complex controls carefully. T-34 out of 76. The T-34-76 early model featured sloped armor and a 76.2mm gun, balancing speed and firepower. Crews praised its durability and battlefield versatility. T-34 out of 76. The late T-34-76 featured simplified armor and turret design for mass production. Crews relied on its ruggedness and mobility in intense frontline battles. T-34 of 85. The T-34-85 mounted an 85mm gun and thicker armor, designed to face advanced German tanks. Crews appreciated its improved survivability and battlefield impact. T-34-57. The T-34-57 was a T-34 variant with a 57mm high-velocity gun, intended for anti-tank roles. Crews tested its accuracy against heavier German armor. T-34 out of 76. The T-34-76 Mod 1942 featured improved armor and a reinforced turret. Crews relied on its balance of protection, mobility, and dependable 76.2mm firepower. T-34 out of 76. The T-34-76 Mod 1943 featured a redesigned turret and improved armor layout. Crews valued its enhanced survivability in prolonged engagements against German panzers. T-34 of 85. The T-34-85 Mod 1944 featured an 85mm gun and reinforced armor. Crews relied on its balance of speed, firepower, and protection in late war battles. T-34 of 85. The T-34-85 Mod 1945 combined thick armor and an 85mm gun, optimized for mass production. Crews appreciated its reliability and improved survivability. KV-13. The KV-13 was a Soviet prototype bridging medium and heavy tank design, featuring sloped armor and a 76.2mm gun. Crews tested mobility and firepower. Continuing with heavy tanks. KV-1. The KV-1 was a heavily armored Soviet tank with a 76.2mm gun, designed for breakthrough assaults. Crews relied on its protection in early war. KV-1S. The KV-1S was a streamlined version of the KV-1, trading armor for speed. Crews appreciated improved mobility while still engaging German panzers effectively. KV-2. The KV-2 was a massive Soviet heavy tank with a 152mm howitzer, designed to destroy fortifications. Crews managed its cumbersome size carefully in combat. IS-1. The IS-1 mounted a 85mm gun and thick armor, designed for breakthrough roles. Crews relied on its protection against medium German tanks. IS-2. The IS-2 featured a 122 mm gun and reinforced armor, designed to penetrate German defenses. Crews valued its firepower and survivability on the Eastern Front. IS-3. The IS-3 had a pike nose hull and 122 mm gun, designed for late war breakthroughs. Crews appreciated its armor and psychological impact on the battlefield. Moving on to tank destroyers and SPGs. Su-76. The Su-76 was a light Soviet SPG with a 76.2 mm gun, used for infantry support. Crews valued its mobility and ease of maintenance. Su-85. The Su-85 mounted an 85 mm gun on AT-34 chassis, designed to engage German tanks. Crews appreciated its balance of firepower and maneuverability. Su-100. The Su-100 featured a 100 mm gun on AT-34 chassis, designed to destroy heavy German armor. Crews valued its long-range accuracy and durability. ISU-122. The ISU-122 mounted a 122 mm gun on an IS chassis, providing heavy fire support. Crews relied on its destructive power against fortifications and armor. ISU-152. The ISU-152 carried a 152 mm gun on an IS chassis, designed to obliterate fortifications. Crews managed its recoil carefully while delivering massive firepower. Su-122-54. The Su-122-54 mounted a 122 mm gun on AT-34 chassis, designed for long-range fire support. Crews valued its powerful shell against fortified targets. Turning to specialized and experimental tanks. KV-14. The KV-14 was a Soviet experimental heavy tank with reinforced armor and a 100 mm gun. Crews tested mobility and firepower under prototype conditions. T-34-100. The T-34-100 was an experimental Soviet medium tank fitted with a 100 mm high-velocity gun. Crews evaluated its anti-tank performance in limited trials.